Nice to meet you, Lars.
Nice to meet you, Songmo.
Yeah, and let's begin. I mean, you are
Yeah,
based in Copenhagen, and can you introduce about yourself? Which media you are writing and about yourself, please?
yeah. So my name is Lars Gram Hansen, and I'm working for Danish media Tipsbladet, which is the oldest football newspaper in Denmark,
Hmm.
and we write about the Danish league and the Danish national team.
They had Korean player, so I visited Copenhagen and Brøndby Stadium, which is really lovely stadium.
Yes, yes, it's big
So
stadium.
yeah, that's why I am wearing
Ah,
the
okay,
yeah Brøndby shirt now. Anyway, okay, let's jump into your question. You can ask me questions first, and then I will
okay.
answer for you. Yeah,
Yeah, can you start by telling me what is Cho's status in South Korea? How big of a star is he? Is he? I think he's
yeah,
very famous also, like David Beckham in a
mm,
way of South Korea. Is it true?
yeah. I mean, I mean, obviously, please don't get me wrong. I mean, he's a star player, and he's very nice. He's handsome. He's tall. There are a lot of fans, and then he can be a bigger star in the future as well.
Mm.
He already is a star, but I think he's someone who can be a bigger star in the future. But I mean, when you ask me about David Beckham in South Korea, it's a bit hard to say that because in Korea we already have some. I mean, we have Son Heung-min, and biggest, most
Yeah,
popular player, not only in Korea, I think in Asia, and
yeah,
he's I think he is beyond the Asian level already. And then
yeah,
before there were many European media called him Son, that Asian Beckham, something like that.
yeah,
So we have Son, and also there are another popular players such as Kang In Lee and then Kim Min Jae, so and Hwang Hee
yeah,
Chan. So we have many star players. So it is hard for me to call Cho at the moment that he is the Beckham in among Korean fans. So because it's not true at the moment. So please don't get
okay,
me wrong. He's already a star player, but he can be a bigger star player in the future, according to how he will perform in Denmark and in other leagues in from now in the future. Yeah, in Denmark's point of view, how would you describe the club actually, the club about the club and how they are doing this season?
yeah. So it's a relatively new club. I think they started 25 years ago, but they've
Mm,
been Danish champions three times.
mm,
The last time was 3 years ago, I think. But this last season they were struggling a lot, and they finished in seventh place.
mm,
And they had a very bad transfer window in January, and then they also had a disappointing start to this season where they
mm,
were eliminated from Euro already, the European football already in the qualifiers. But slowly during the last 2 months, I think they have started to improve and they've been
mm,
climbing up uh,
mm,
in the league, and now they're number three, only 3 points away from the top team. So
mm,
they
mm,
look like they will, after all, become a part of the championship fight.
mm.
So it's one of the big clubs in Denmark for sure.
And then, I mean, according to some, I mean, from information from Korea or from Denmark, that it is said that the club wanted Cho from, I mean, from even from last winter, not from this summer. Do you know about that?
I don't know when they started
Mm,
the interest,
mm,
but I
mm,
think
mm,
it's definitely true that they had
mm,
their sights on him for a long time.
mm,
Midtjylland for a long time been chasing different, expensive strikers, and they were
mm,
looking in many different leagues. So I think
mm,
I
mm,
also heard about some interest from Cho already last transfer
mm.
window.
Yeah. Okay. And then the next question is, I mean, what is the reaction from Denmark fans about Cho's performance so far this season?
So I guess you could say he's probably the best striker in the Danish league, also because Copenhagen has a player from the Danish national team, but he's injured all the time. So I think Cho, he's only scored 6 goals in 14 games, so he
Mm,
could score a little bit more, but it's
mm,
not so bad either. But the main thing is that I think most fans can see that he has an international level, which is different from the other strikers. Yes, he's very good at arriving in the box and reading the crosses, and he's very good with his head, and he has a different level as a striker, and he's physical and he's strong, and he's also the experts are also praising him for his defensive contribution and the way he's a team player and going back and dropping deep to help create the play for his team. So yeah, and then his finishing seems quite clinical. He missed one penalty where he took a very slow run up, so that was criticized, but it looks like Midtjylland has understood how to utilize Cho's qualities, and there's definitely potential for him to become even better for Midtjylland and for the teammates to put him in better situations as well. I would say he's probably the best striker in the Danish league. Yes.
Already, one of, yeah.
I think maybe even the best striker.
At the moment.
Well, he's in general. I think the last few weeks he haven't scored so many goals, but in general, I think he's the striker with the best level.
Okay, then here already. If he reached in that level already, then let's hope he can do even better.
Yeah.
For the rest of the season and in the future. Also, the club also had another Korean player, Lee Han-bum.
Yeah.
Yeah. How the fans think about, and how do you think about the player? I mean, he didn't play too much so far, but still they have another Korean player.
Yeah, he's only played I think 2 minutes in the league, so we haven't really seen him so much. He came on in the last few minutes of a game, and then he made an assist. So for what we've seen, that's a good start. But he only played very few minutes. So we're still excited to see what kind of player he is, but we haven't seen so much yet.
Yeah, we can talk about him in the next call, in our next call. Yeah. All right. And then about your question to me, let me ask you the same from your point of view. The racism incident from how Denmark media or the club, or I think I saw there was some reaction even from the government about the incident. How in general, how the Denmark fans or media or club reacted to that incident?
It was definitely a big story in Denmark for a few days. Obviously, everyone thought the involved fans were idiots, and Midtjylland, they first went out to condemn the episode, but then there still continued to be a lot of criticism. So the club ended up giving 2 fans a 1-year ban. And there was also one big newspaper in Denmark that did an interview with the Korean vlogger, and where he said that he had felt scared in the situation, and it was a very negative experience for him. So I think also there was a Danish minister criticizing the episode. So overall, it was a very embarrassing episode for Danish football, for sure.
So just let's hope those will not happen again. And then obviously, as I told you, well, for your question, the fans are worried and very sensitive. Obviously, it's a very sensitive issue, and they are very worried about that. And then, one of the reasons why Korean fans were worried when they firstly heard that Cho is joining Denmark League is that they thought maybe if Cho joined the Denmark League, it may be hard for him to jump into the bigger league in the future. But at the same time, I know that I heard that there are some examples that some players move into big leagues actually. So can you, if you know those cases, can you share any examples or your view on that?
Yeah. So the Danish league is a development league. There are many players going from Denmark to England and Germany and Italy, the big leagues. Just in January, Copenhagen sold the Danish national team player to Leicester City, and they were playing in Premier League at that point. And even this summer, Midtjylland, they sold their star player to Lazio in Italy. And the team Nordsjælland, they sold their star player Noama to Lyon in France. They sold him for 25 million euro. So there are quite a few examples of Danish players going to England, Spain, Germany, Italy, France. So it's a good league to go if you want to go to an even bigger league, I think.
So I think, I mean, so you think that if Joe plays very well, I mean, even better in Denmark in the future, I mean, you said you think, in your opinion, he's already one of all the best striker in the league. Then do you think he can go to England or Germany? There's no problem about that?
I don't think there's any problem about that at all. And it's also important to remember that Midtjylland are a club that are always looking to make good business. So I think they bought Cho also with the perspective of being able to sell him for profit at one time. So I think the club is also looking to sell him maybe after 2 years. So it's definitely.
So you think they will not stop I mean, they will also already consider those, I mean, those chance that he may move to the bigger league, yeah?
I think Midtjylland understands that Joe wants to go to the bigger league at one point, but it's already, obviously it depends on getting the right offer. They can be quite a tough negotiators. They need to have the right price, of course.
Joe started well in the league. I mean, considering it's his first season in Europe. So how do you expect that the club and Joe will do in this season or next season? How do you expect?
I mean, Joe already played well in the beginning of the season when Midtjylland was not playing well. So that was a good start for him. And then the good thing is that Midtjylland started to improve. They were very disappointing in the beginning of the season, and people thought they weren't going to be part of the championship fight. But then they started to turn things around, and now they are back in the top. So, and with Cho already from day one playing very well, and fitting into the team very well, and being a good contributor, I think it's only a question of time before Cho will become an even bigger star in the Danish league, because I think the club understands what his qualities are and how he needs to be played. So I think it will only get better from here.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, we can have the call again.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the moment, I mean, please remember, the moment Joe scores hat-trick, then the next day we will have the call.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, and anytime if you need any information from Korea, you can let me know, and then let me do the same to you if you're okay.
Of course, yeah, you're always welcome to call me as well.
Yeah. And after this call, if you need any information further, then just let me know on WhatsApp, and I will write you down.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was very interesting to talk to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's meet. See you again.
See you again. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.